It's probably the biggest departure from Trakke that we've ever done.
You guys ready to have your minds blown?
Hi, I'm Alec, and I am the founder of Trakke Bags.
I'm Taylor Weldon, creative director of Carryology.
Let's talk about our upcoming Carryology collab, the Muir III. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the last collab, the original Muir backpack, what worked, what didn't, what we want to change, what's the DNA that we're going to carry forward into Muir III. So Muir III is going to be a 1.5 travel backpack, but there's a whole world of decisions to be made.
I want to talk about the fabric first. I think that's the coolest part, in my opinion.
I would love to use Dyneema again, but am I allowed to say this? I'm kind of over Dyneema because UHMWP is now like available to other brands. And so like Ultra is, essentially like...
It's like the whole Kleenex concept, you got Ultra, Dyneema, the brand names of ultra high molecular weight polyethylene. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of UHWMPE, various mills around the world, and it's not mainstream yet.
But it is happening. 5 years ago, it was like you had to buy Dyneema, and now we've got options. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, I think marrying heritage and like some of the more modern fabrics, I think is key. And I think like EcoPack was super cool, but X-Pack do a pretty nice mix, right? The X11, you've got canvas on one side, very Trakke.
So it's fully waterproof. I mean, and just like wax canvas is waterproof. It's the original waterproof fabric, developed in Scotland, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But this is, modern technology meets that heritage. It's that wax cotton canvas face with a lamination and, X grid in there for strength. And that's super cool. And frankly, I guess no disrespect to Dimension Polyant, but they had this before, and I think it's called something different. And I played with it, and it just wasn't that good. It didn't perform as I wanted it to. And we'd heard about it, but the real kudos comes to them improving it. And this is the new version of that original concept. So now it's finally like, via all the testing and, proofs in the pudding, we did actual testing. This fabric is super cool. It's a perfect blend.
It's so nice. I mean, like, so you have the canvas on one side, laminated with X-Pack on the other side. And what's nuts about this is when we work with it, it has such great rigidity and structure that you can have quite big expanses of fabric without like seam support, and it will hold its shape. So, if you like a bag that like looks as good empty as it does when it's full, this is like the dream. It really holds super nicely and just works.
What was that color you were holding up right there? Just curious. What color was that?
Oh, what this? I mean,
okay.
we could just do.
We could just do black.
We could just do black, but
olive looks pretty cool though.
This is exactly what we're talking about, right? It feels very Trakke on the outside. I think it gives something different with X-Pack. You've got the structure, you've got the strength, you've got the weatherproofness and the durability. And I think that's the dream.
I think it's the perfect marriage. I mean, that's the Muir story. It's the heritage tech story. It's and it's finally like the performance meets the dream of that fabric specifically. I've been wanting to use this for a long time, and now it's finally there. I'm happy to say.
Yeah, I mean, inside, obviously, we can replicate that with more X-Pack. I mean, this isn't like X11, but this is... I
think that's RVX 25.
That's it. Exactly. All these product codes, man. It's kind of, the orange.
Yeah, it's too many, yeah. We've used this before. I love this stuff. It's waterproof, it's strong, it's durable, and that the color lasts.
For the interior, bring a bit of sunshine into the bag. Make sure you can see everything inside. I think orange is the only way for bag liners, as far as I'm concerned.
And you guys have been using that, since before we started doing collabs together. It's
oh yeah,
it's the same philosophy. It's like you're in a dark room looking into a deep cavernous bag. Oh, need some brightness for contrast.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes total sense. Okay, there's our standard edition, right? But if we're going to do special edition this time and we can't do tartan, I mean, what do you, from the loudest pack on the planet, like where do you go from there?
We got to do something wild. I mean, I think it's cool that we used the heritage last time, and now this time we use something totally like space age and
Yeah.
wild. Just kind of, and it's kind of just weighing that, it's balancing it out.
Mike came up with the gold this time,
Mhm.
suggesting UX10, which is another X-Pac fabric. But it's like, what's the best way to describe it? Like, do you remember what used to be Cuban fiber? That's kind of what I know it as.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. That's
clear.
old school stuff right there.
Yeah, it's like clear UHMWPE. It's like super thin,
Mhm.
super strong, but really lightweight. So UX10 is like Dimension Polyant's version of that. That actually they use, I think, more in their like the sort of sailing arm of their business,
Yeah, it's very tech driven and performance driven.
but it's see-through. I mean, it's kind of see-through. It's like it is
Yeah, yeah,
see-through,
yeah.
but
Get through it
like
now. Yeah,
I can't see you through it right now.
yeah.
But this stuff feels super nice. And when we started handling this stuff, what I realized about it is that it kind of has an element of wax canvas about it in that it develops like a patina.
It feels a little bit
As you use it, it naturally kind of creases and marks, and it kind of shows that as a kind of stronger white line through the clearness.
just like wax canvas.
And I kind of like that. I mean, that's something I've always loved about wax canvas is that the more you wear it, you kind of gather these like battle scars, and it becomes part of your story with your bag. And I think UX10 might give us that. It's the modern primo, high tech version of wax cotton patina.
Right. That's what John Muir would use in the year 2090. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, something like that. Yeah, he would like that, I think.
I think so. And I think what would be extra cool with this is like
A pop.
a little bit of show through as well.
I love that it can show through.
I don't know. There's just something about that I think is super nice. That kind of the glow from inside.
Yeah, you don't
That'll
really
give
have that
us,
opportunity with many other fabrics, but with that one you do. So you have
yeah,
to use it.
I think so. We can't get tartan this time, which
Mhm.
sucks, but we have a very small amount of reserve stock that could, like just a little something somewhere.
Mhm.
I think would be cool.
Probably not enough to make a whole single bag. Otherwise, I would demand one being made. But
I don't think we could even make a full bag from it. It is small, but I feel like that has to go through, right? It has to carry through. That's like the legacy of Muir, isn't it? On the bag, I think. And then I guess from the design perspective, I mean, fuck, where do you begin? I think U-zip for sure.
you have to keep we call it the U-zip, we call it the horseshoe, we call it, there's all sorts of other names for it. I really love the being able to access the bag, the main compartment, without having to undo the entire zipper via these lower zippers right here. They're hard to see, but you can pull it up and then get in.
That was one of those details on the last bag that seems quite innocuous, but putting 4 pullers on the main zip turns out that's like quite difficult to do. It took us ages. We had to like make zip clamps and feed them on in weird ways.
Yeah, yeah. I remember we're like, you have to put this on and then you have to like do some math.
But we figured it
Yeah,
out, so we can do it again. And that gives you
good,
way
good.
more ways to access. It means you can open from the bottom, from the top.
Mhm.
Personally, I'm like really loving that form factor over clamshell. I don't know quite why, but like
Mhm. I mean, it's like a clamshell, but it's a great balance, I think.
I think you get that kind of spread of the bag when you unzip the U or the horseshoe. The sides
Mhm.
are also given the opportunity to kind of splay out a bit, so you get a bit more of
Mhm.
like a sense of like everything going on in the bag at any given time,
Mhm.
which I really like.
And it's also a top loader in a sense too. If you just do the top, you can shove stuff down from the top. So it's kind of the best of all worlds is that U shape kind of access. And I think no straps, no fiddly stuff on the outside because it's such a beautiful shape. Just eliminate all that extra stuff.
I know you're kind of the same, Taylor, but like my inclination would be to make it as clean as we can possibly make it on the outside. Is like as few seams, as few pattern pieces. Like let's keep it ultra minimal. I think that just lands way better. It feels a lot more versatile in lots of environments.
Brutalist, minimalist type thing.
But if it's going to have that kind of form factor, especially with that kind of top loader vibe, like all top loaders, it's going to need a quick access pocket, right?
Have to. That's like a non-starter for me. If a bag doesn't have a quick pocket, a quick access, it's over. You know, pretty much toss it.
I mean, it could even be worth having a couple of quick access pockets. I think, like, you know, on the top, right, makes total sense. Like above the crush zone,
Yeah,
quick access. Like,
I mean, it's essentially what's right behind you. But I mean, the sling. I'm looking at the Muir one, by the way, for off camera people. So the sling up on top, you know, that is the quick access. It acted as both. And then when you take it off, you lost the quick access in the bag form. So I mean, it does make sense to keep it in that same area, but kind of without the whole removable top sling aspect.
I think as well, like side pockets, that was for me, that was probably the thing that I think in hindsight let the original down a bit, was just how it affected the shaping. That was the thing that like haunted me for a while. So when we did our store update, we figured out a new way of doing that. And I kind of want to roll it out because it's kind of ideal. Like, hang on, Colin, can you chuck me a store from over there, please?
Nice.
So this is like how we did it on the store. And basically, if if the pocket doesn't come all the way up, you end up like you still get the expansion, you still get the contraction. We've got a bit of elastic in here to keep things nice and tight, but you get the bottle at the top. And then what you end up with is this kind of like slightly more like rocket shape where it feels like base heavy, but the whole bag doesn't feel fat anymore.
Yeah, it doesn't. That's the way to do it. It's the correct way. I mean, I like that it came from Muir one and then went to more refined version in the store, and now we can bring it to this.
I mean, again, it's a nice way to develop and learn through user testing for sure.
That's the whole point of these collabs, is to do stuff like that, like to take the risk on the Muir one and develop those water bottle pockets that, looking back, not that they didn't work, but they just weren't perfect. And now refining them and then refining them and refining them, you know?
Let's talk zip pulls.
Let's talk zip pulls, because we can't use the same ones that we used last time.
Why can't we use them, Taylor?
Just a little jingly, you know, but I mean, they're strong, but they're just a little jingly. I don't know if they visually fit the form factor. So, you know, having something a little bit different, a little bit simpler, maybe something people are a little bit more familiar with. That's the way to go.
That's one of those things that like I would never have thought of until people started using our bags, and there is a camp that think they're too jingly. I assume these people are, you know, sneaky. They like to be silent. They like to be stealthy. They're presumably like a ninja or a hunter, maybe.
They won't tell us. They won't tell us. That's too secret.
We've got a good solution though, I think. It's probably the biggest departure from Trakke that we've ever done, but hopefully people are.
I love how it's a zipper puller too. Super cool.
Right.
I love that. The zipper puller. Yeah. You guys ready to have your minds blown? Zipper puller. Yeah.
Oh,
that's true. I mean, I think then again, this collab gives the opportunity for Trakke to do something that wouldn't normally be done, and that's cool. Right. That's fun.
So we'll try it out. And if people like it, maybe it'll end up on more Trakke products. We'll find out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should probably tell you that the change of puller that we've done on this took the entire Trakke team, all of us, myself included, sat around a table, hand tying, hand knotting. It took us, we had to make.
I'm looking at it right now.
It was like thousands of pullers we literally sat around a table for a whole day, and even after the whole day, we didn't get it finished. And so people have been slaving away in the corner of the workshop, tying knots and figuring this stuff out.
Oh man, tying knots
Yeah.
on zipper sliders.
Yeah. So, every single bag has had individual attention.
Quite a bit of it too.
I mean, actually, like I was adding stuff up earlier, and like I think we've spent not even on development, but I think we've already spent nearly 2,000 hours on production.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's a number. That's a number, all
Yeah.
right.
We haven't seen daylight in about 2 years since last time we did a collab with you.
Imagine that. Let's do another collab with Carryology. So
Crap.
we're not gonna sleep. We're not gonna go outside.
In terms of other details, to me, like external access laptop sleeve,
Have to.
essential.
Have to.
If you're going through an airport, it's the only way now, really.
I'd love to keep some sort of Cobra hardware. Got to keep the Cobra hardware, even though we're not going to have all the dangly straps. But I love the Australpin stuff. Having that somewhere to as a nod to the original.
Yeah,
must.
totally. I mean, actually, when we were looking at speccing that, I also looked at. Have you seen like Austere Manufacturing?
Yeah, good stuff.
They make these really, really nice hardware over in the States. And we had a chat about potentially speccing those. And unfortunately, with the time scale and the numbers that we needed, we just couldn't do it. But Austere make nice gear. I think Cobra are going to have to watch out. But until then,
yeah, I think so too.
Until then, I think Cobra is where it's at, and closer to us. They're in Austria, so not very far away. Super strong. We use those on the original Muir as well, and like we should definitely bring those back. What else have we got? Oh, you know what I would change? What has to change are the strap keepers. Do you remember the Muir one?
Oh,
had
yeah.
Slightly odd strap keepers. I think
they're just a little bit weird.
Tidied that up,
especially for as strappy as the bag as that was.
Yeah.
But yeah, improving that is necessary. We love having webbing keepers and strap keepers. You need it.
Keep things quiet. Keep things tidy.
Healthy for ninjas.
So we'll do Muir 3 Special Edition, Sling, which I think included. The sling's got to be included, otherwise it's not a 1.5, is it? I don't think we should do Fidlock this time.
I mean, like the exterior thing. I mean, it's cool. I've tried this a lot of times. Putting the sling on the outside and like making it detachable, and things just get fiddly.
And it affects, I think, like a lot of shaping decision as well. It's going to have to be a certain shape to deliver that again. So what we have been doing, though, kind of inspired by Muir as well, was when we released our new store line, we started including what we call a gear sling, which is kind of a flat pouch kind of sling, great for like wearing under a jacket or something, going through an airport. And it's probably a liter of space, something like that. But that could be a neat way to kind of bring that idea across, which I think is kind of nice because it was sort of the store took inspiration from the Muir, and then Muir 3 is kind of, it's rolling on from that. So it feels like a natural progression, right? Patches, obviously, you can't have a collab without patches. Some custom patches. And I think different patches for the standard and the special. And then accessories, packing cubes. It's the obvious choice, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's how you do 1.5 bag travel. You gotta have those cubes.
What if you could see what was in them?
Now that's making sense right there for the cubes. Right. Okay. And that's sort of even a kind of a throwback to our first collab, the store original travel bag with the Dyneema. That was sort of see-through. Yeah.
The Dyneema packing cubes. I mean, man, that was
those.
I can't even remember how many we made of that, but
yeah,
they are hard to find.
I don't even know if I have a set. Yeah.
I thought you had them in the archive.
I thought I did too. I don't remember if I ever got a set. I think I know I have the wax canvas. Yeah, but they're really tough to find.
So actually, yeah, you're right. This would be a really nice way. Yeah, nice way to tie that back to the OG Carryology collab. That was the third collab you guys ever did. The first one. That was nuts.
Yeah, that's wild.
I dread to think what number this is. I mean, it feels like this might be like number 50 this year.
Yeah, we've been doing it for years now. It could be. Well, honored to have you back.
Yeah.
Love working with you.
Man, it's the best. I think like this is going to be a pretty special collab. I mean, I think, you know, we've been working on the design, we've been working on the development. Dare I say it's my favorite bag? I think it's my favorite bag that we've designed.
Okay.
I've said it. You guys might, you know, hopefully you guys agree.
It's out there, yeah.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's gonna be good. And I'm just looking at it over here. I've got a sneaky one in the corner.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a good release. We will, of course, do a full product walkthrough to show you every single detail, every single facet, every nook and cranny and pocket, everything you could possibly want to know about the Muir 3, and that'll be coming soon.
And that's before the release too, so you get to see it all well in advance and see all the details.
Should we wrap up somehow?
Yeah, let's just do like a natural thing. Yeah. Is this what you do? I don't know. Wrap it up. I'm really excited about this one. I know you are too. Your favorite bag that you've ever made. And I agree with you. I agree.
Me too, Taylor. I love working with you guys. Carryology collabs are the best fun. And it's been great to just talk through all of the design decisions. Maybe, you know, this gives you guys a bit of insight into some of the things that we consider and we look at when we're talking about these collabs. I think there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes and we don't always know the right answer. You know, sometimes we try something new, but it's an exciting journey and we really appreciate you joining us on it. So thanks for joining us, Taylor. Thanks for joining us at home. And next time you're going to get to see the whole bag start to finish.
That was easy.